This is Jonathan Agger, fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Big Mo. Mo, we're here in Liverpool, ahead of Jonas Havazin this Saturday. But first of all, you're in Texas on the biggest card of the year, emceeing. First of all, how was the experience?
Oh, it was very cool. For me, it was an amazing moment to be a part of. Definitely the biggest show that I've done. I've been, my career's gone pretty quick, so I've been able to do some big shows, but nothing's really compared to that. And it was an honor to just be a part of it and to introduce the likes of Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor and Mike Tyson and Jake Paul and be a part of Netflix's dive into live sports. It was an amazing experience.
What's been the reaction since you've done that? Has your phone blown up? Has like loads more followers? Like what's been the reaction?
I think it. While the event was happening, there was circulation and things like that, but it has obviously it's already done now. It's kind of in the past, so I haven't really paid too much attention to that. But it definitely was a big moment for me, and it was an honor to be a part of it. And I think it was an amazing night for boxing. I'm happy to see how much the sport of boxing has benefited from that night and the amount of circulation that the sport has gotten. I mean, almost 110 million people watched a boxing match. I was getting texted from people that never watched boxing, watching it for the first time, watched a documentary on Netflix, all that type of stuff. So the fact that boxing got to enter that new market, be in front of a whole new batch of viewers, it was big for all of us involved in the sport.
And are you going to work with Netflix maybe going forward after that event?
Yeah, I mean, look, I had a great time working with Netflix, had a great relationship with them. They enjoyed going into boxing and they had a great time. I mean, they knocked that event out of the park. Every metric and goal that they had set out, from my knowledge, they smashed it, whether it be viewership, whether it be whatever. 65 million homes tuned in to watch that. So I would be surprised if that was the last time we ever see Netflix do that. And I would love to be a part of it again. I had a great time working with them and it was a success. So.
On the fight itself, the main event, I don't know if it really delivered what people were expecting from Mike Tyson, obviously 58 years old. What did you make of the fight?
It delivered exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting to see a 60-year-old version of Mike Tyson, which is what we saw. The fact that he did it, in my opinion, was incredible. I think the fact that he got to ring walk in front of 70,000 people was incredible. I mean, this is the same guy that his last fight previous to this, he quit on his stool. He lost the love for boxing. He was dealing with addiction and all the stuff that was going on in his life and all the turmoil that he had gone through. So for him to be able to come back, to have his kids be able to watch him, which I know was an emotional point for him, and for him to basically be celebrated in the way that he was, I thought it was incredible. I mean, I was sitting there, I was in the ring, but I was watching this ring walk and I was watching 70,000 people watch a guy make a ring walk again that they'd only ever heard about. Unless you were old enough to see Mike Tyson, most people from my generation, they never saw him before. I never got to see Mike Tyson ring walk. I never got to see Mike Tyson fight. So the fact that I got to be a part of that and the world got to witness it, it was amazing. I have nothing bad to say about the event personally.
And talking about next weekend, we've got Fury and Usyk, the rematch. How do you see this second fight playing out, Mike?
I watched Tyson Fury lose against Deontay Wilder. I put that in quotes because a lot of people, draw, not lose. How did the draw against Deontay Wilder? I put that in quotes because a lot of people thought that Fury won, including myself, but it was a draw. I saw him come back and just dominate Deontay Wilder. I think that Fury's physical intangibles with his boxing knowledge, he's an incredibly knowledgeable boxer, very technical boxer. I'm very curious what we see versus Usyk because he's already now fought him once. I was watching that fight. The first half of the fight, I was sitting there going, Fury's got this in the bag. Fury's about to be undisputed world champion. Then what was it? The ninth round, he caught that left from Usyk, and I was like, it totally shifted the entire energy of the fight. So now that Tyson's experienced that and has actually been, he wasn't technically dropped by Usyk, but damn near dropped. He was almost out on his feet. I'm curious how he's prepared differently. We've seen less of Tyson Fury on social media. media. We've seen less of the trash talk, bravado. He just seems to be doing less media to me. So now the fact that he's locked in and refocused, I'm curious what's going to happen. I usually don't try to pick people. I also learned my lesson not to pick against Usyk, but at the same time, I am confident, I think, in what Tyson Fury can deliver, and I think we should see possibly even a better fight than we saw the first time.
Like, one of the talking points from the first fight was the corner situation of Tyson Fury. He obviously had Sugar Hill, Andy Lee, and his dad John Fury. Right now we don't know for sure what the situation's going to be, but yeah, what's your thoughts on what he should do heading into the rematch?
Look, I mean, there's been a lot of conversation about the corner. The only person that really knows who they want in their corner is Tyson. There were a lot of voices. I don't know how much the voices were conflicting, but there were a lot of voices. To be honest, I don't think that the corner is why Tyson Fury lost. I think that's a discredit to Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk just won. Usyk dropped bigger shots when they mattered more in the later rounds, and he pulled the fight away from Tyson Fury in what would have been a rather close, and was still a close fight, but I think Usyk took it away more than Tyson's corner did XYZ or Tyson didn't do XYZ. I think Usyk just was the better man on the night. So I wouldn't be surprised if Fury goes to the same corner. Do I think maybe he would be smart to have less voices? Sure, but I'm also not Tyson Fury, so I can't really say either way. But I do think that it was more so Usyk that won that first fight, opposed to Tyson doing something wrong that lost it, in my opinion.
Now, Ade Oladipo from DAZN, great pundit, great presenter. He's come out on his YouTube channel and he said, listen, I think both men will retire regardless of what happens in this fight, given sort of, their careers they've had, and the fact that, especially for Usyk, maybe people look at it and say, I don't know where he's going to go.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Do you think both will continue, both will retire? What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's an interesting take from Ade. I could agree with him on Usyk. I could see Usyk winning and retiring, because I agree, at what point, he could drop back down to cruiserweight, maybe to fight Jai Apataya, but I don't think that that's some mega fight, in my opinion. It's a big fight, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's on the same level that obviously Fury or the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship is. So I think if Usyk wins and beats Fury in the rematch, he's achieved everything that he can achieve at that point. He's cleaned out the heavyweight division for the most part. He cleaned out the cruiserweight division. There's not another division to go up to. So I could definitely see him walking away at that point. If Fury wins, I want to see the trilogy personally. I think a lot of people are saying that if Fury wins, he should just go fight AJ. I never like leaving a trilogy unsettled, personally. If it's 1-1, I want to see who wins the third one. I'd rather see the trilogy of Fury versus Usyk. Now, if Fury loses, I still think the AJ fight is there. I still think the AJ fight is massive regardless of it. So Fury, I think, has a couple more fights in him to go. I would be surprised if he retires, but you never know.
Lastly, Mo, obviously we are here in Liverpool for Jonas and Lauren Price. It's all been built towards them fighting next year, but I guess, we've had this before where fights are like verbally agreed and then someone might lose. Both of them are favourites going in, but do you think it's important for both not to overlook their opponents?
Absolutely. Look, that fight is what I think everyone's building to. I think it's what they're building to. There were a lot of options for Natasha. I know that Natasha maybe wanted that Katie Taylor rematch. I don't know if that's going to happen now. I think Katie Taylor may want to explore that trilogy with Amanda Serrano just because of how big the rematch was. So Natasha's kind of in an interesting place, and so is Lauren, because Lauren is dominating her opponents. It's going to be tough to matchmake her. She has to be in world title fights or no fights at all, in my opinion. So it makes sense how they're building the both of them in parallel to each other. I think that both of them have a very tough test this weekend. Habazin against Jonas, she's been in with the best of the best, including the likes of Clarissa Shields and things like that. And then you have Bexy Mateos, who's undefeated with a bunch of knockouts, fighting Lauren Price. So she's not going to be afraid to take the fight to Lauren Price. She's from Colombia. We know how Central South Americans like to fight. It's that front foot forward, really put the pedal to the metal. I think she's going to push the pace against Lauren, and we're going to see how Lauren handles that, because usually she's the one that's initiating the pace. So I think that both of them are in really interesting fights. I like that they're both on this card. I think it's aptly named Collision Course. It makes sense to me. But I agree with you. They can't overlook either of these because easily both of these women could be beat.
Well, Mo, appreciate your time. Obviously, this card live on Sky Sports this Saturday. You'll be in the ring, and we'll speak again soon, I hope.
Thank you very much. Make sure you follow Pro Boxing Fans. See you guys soon.